for today. And of course, I have my amazing co-host, John Lavinia, right here with me.
Woo!
And today we're going to be talking about one of the subjects that is so near and dear to my heart. This is something that I have been, what's that word, John? Proselytizing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good word.
Right? It's a good word, right? I have literally been on the mountain shouting it big and wide. How to establish credibility and authority to sign more clients, even if you are brand new. This is going to be such a valuable masterclass for you with some actionable steps that you can apply right now, and also a little bit of evaluation that you can do of your current assets to see really where you stand. So if you want to know how to stand out in a highly competitive marketplace, even if you're brand new, and you want to know how to shorten your sales cycle by establishing credibility before you even talk to your potential clients, this is the masterclass for you, because today we're going to talk about how to establish that credibility and authority. Now, if you're watching this live stream anywhere other than our Facebook group, you can join us at ceofreedom.com/Facebook to get this weekly live training, daily strategy tips, and access to free resources, as well as connections with our amazing community of entrepreneurs. Now, my name, as I said, is Shannon Lavinia, and my co-host is John Lavinia right here with me. And I'm going to pass this over to John so he can tell you a little bit more about us if this is our first time meeting.
That's right. So if this is our first time meeting, welcome. And that's Shannon. She's my secret weapon. I'm John. We are the creators behind the CEO Freedom programs and the paid framework. So we provide coaches, consultants, and agency owners with automation and growth strategies to sell out their programs and magnify their impact. We've been in this space now for about 20 years, over 20 years. And it's been pretty awesome seeing people transform their business and increase their results exponentially as they apply the things that we're able to teach them based on our experience. So today, of course, we want to give you, well, there's four things, really. If you want to establish credibility and authority to sign more clients, there's four things that you want to focus on right out of the gate. And the first of those, Shannon, should I pass this back to you, or you want me to take this?
I'll take the first one.
Because you're more like the branding person here. Yeah,
that's right. And I love this. We have had Brand Builder Design Studios now for 10 years, and we have been creating obsession-worthy brands for people. And now in 2023, branding is infinitely more important than it was just 2 years or 5 years or 10 years ago. So what am I talking about your brand? I'm talking about your visual assets. So if I go to your Facebook page, your Facebook personal profile, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your website, what is it going to look like to me? Not to you, but to me, the viewer who visits your sites. When I go to those sites, am I going to see cohesive communication, meaning that you have the same message across all of your platforms? So it's very easy for me to identify who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Is your visual assets, the graphics, professionally designed? That is a make it or break it for people who are looking to onboard new clients. If your graphic design looks like you put it together on a Friday night after you had one too many, then you're not going to attract the right level of clients. So you have to ask yourself, when people go to your social media or they go to your website, are they having a dollar store experience or are they having a Nordstrom experience? And if you ask yourself and you answer that authentically, then you're going to know whether you're going to attract the dollar store type client or the Nordstrom type client. So if you're looking to get a premium price for your products and you're looking to work with people who operate at a higher level, you definitely want to make sure that your assets are dialed in and you look exceptional online. There is no room for mediocrity anymore. You're either going to be exceptional and stand out as a leader in your space, or you're going to get run over by the people who do, particularly with the advent and evolution of AI, because the sheer amount of content that we can now generate and put out there in the marketplace is just simply going to dominate our niches. So you want to make sure that your assets are very professionally designed. Is your website easy to navigate? Is it easy for people to find what they want? Is it easy for them to get in touch with you? These are all things that really make a difference. And The really amazing thing, particularly if you are new, is if you invest in professional design, nobody will know that you're new unless you tell them, because you will look like you've been doing this for a really long time, that you know what you're doing, you're well put together, and you've established your authority. If you're new and you look new, it's going to be exponentially harder for you to get off of that starting line, because you're up against people who do look very well put together, and nobody wants to invest with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, right? So you want to consider this when you're making sales. So that this is so important. And if you go to any of our social media, you'll see that our brand is super dialed in. We have a graphic designer on our team that works with us, that does all of our graphics. Even though I know Canva, even though I know, how to make these basic graphics, I don't do it myself, because I don't want it to look like I'm sitting there spending my time making Canva graphics. I want it to look as though I'm doing what I should be doing, which is serving clients at the highest level. Okay, John, over to you.
Yes.
What's number 2?
Awesome. Well, I will say that there is a great value in having an expert do the graphic stuff, because I'm not it, right? So you could see like some examples of all that at brandbuilderdesign.com. Check that out, and you'll see some of the work that our staff of people have done. Like Shannon said, it's not just her sitting there, banging out stuff on the computer, which brings me to the second point. If we want to shorten the learning curve, here's the best sales weapon ever, right? To bring people from new prospect or whatever to convert it into a buyer. And that is proof. If you had nothing else but proof, you're going to do better than the person who has everything else but no proof, right? So you can flood your social media with proof, not to mention your websites, testimonials, examples, videos, right? From people who will set you up as an authority in your space because they experience the benefits of having worked with you. When you get into proof, you're getting into being more relatable to more people. There's an old saying in the sales world, and that is that facts tell and stories sell, right? So you may have a nice feature list, which is factually correct, okay, but it's Sally's experience with that feature list. It's Bob's experience with that service that you provided, which is going to be way more relatable, where people can start to see themselves in that position, like Sally and like Bob, who got those benefits, right? So now you may be thinking, well, John and Shannon, you said, well, even if I'm new, I am new. I don't have testimonials. Got it. Here's what you do. All right. You invite a few people. These are people, other earthlings, people that you already know from having been on the planet for a while, who are interested in your kind of stuff, right? And you invite them to be like a beta group. Hey, I am launching this thing. It's a coaching program. It's a course. It's a whatever it happens to be. And I would like for you to be among the first to experience this. In exchange, I'd like to have you share your feedback, your testimonial with me. We'll get on Zoom. We can record a quick video about your experience, or you can write it up, or I can help you write it up, and you can sign it, right? And that sort of thing. So you're gathering material, right? In this case, proof, testimonials. And you could do that through a variety of media, but you're doing that with people who are already have a level of connection and affinity for you, right? And now they're going to go through your stuff and speak kindly about it. Now, if you suck, then they're going to probably let you know that too. So you want to definitely deliver, and you'll probably get some good feedback too on maybe tweaks you can make. I mean, if you're new, right? So if you're delivering something that, let's say, for example, a digital course, those first few people who go through it can be that seed group. Now there's your testimonials for the sales page as you launch the course for a higher fee, or for a fee in general, if that beta group went through, for free in some cases, right? But this is a great way to seed that testimonial pipeline. And once you start doing it, you get into the habit of doing it. And I'm going to give you one tip that we go through with our coaching clients, and that is how to collect a testimonial. There's just 4 things. Just 4 things you need to do. You get somebody on Zoom, 4 things you need to do. Ask them, what were they struggling with before the course, the program, the service, whatever it was. Great. What was their experience now that they've been through it, right? What has changed, right? The third thing you ask them is, what would you say to anyone else considering going through the course, the service, the product, whatever it is? And then the fourth thing you ask them is, who are you? Tell us about you. What do you do? What's your business? That sort of a thing, right? So it's a little promotion for them as well. And then you can cut that all up, edit it out, right? You get a little 4-second clip here and a 5-second clip there, and you make a nice little testimonial reel. It works really good. Little bonus tip for you today on how to collect testimonials via videos. So Shannon, that brings us to another type of content, which is content itself, right? So I'm going to pass this back over to you to talk about content.
That's right. And I'm going to add one other thing to what you talked about. It was such a great message that you shared, John. And that is for those of you who are already in the 6 and 7 figures who are not putting enough attention on collecting those testimonials. It really is vital that you have that as part of your weekly process, that every time you do a coaching call, every time you have a group coaching call, every time you do a Zoom training, and you're able to record that training, pass that video along to a team member who then can extract the testimonials out of those videos. It is so vital that you get that data, because it really does make the point of what you're able to do when somebody says yes to you. Okay, content is number 3. If you are not producing daily content, you are literally going to be washed out by other people. Now, for those of us who have been around for a while, who were able to get to 7 figures without having to do daily content, that situation no longer exists. So because of AI. And if you look at how the algorithms work on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, and Google search, they are looking for fresh, unique content. They're looking to get eyeballs onto as much fresh, unique content as possible. So if somebody is pushing out more content than you, it really doesn't matter if you've been at 7 figures and they're just starting out. They're going to take over your space very shortly and start to get a lot of that attention. Plus, we all know that new is exciting, right? So a newer person coming out and just like balls to the wall, taking that charge and getting that content out there, amazing. They're going to really dominate that space. So as an experienced course creator or coach or agency, you really do have to make it a priority for you to put out daily fresh content that can be consumed by new audiences and that can keep your audiences engaged and their eyeballs on you, so they're not distracted looking for answers someplace else. You also want to be one of these people that when someone types in a question to Google, that they are pulling you up in the search, right? They're getting answers from you either on YouTube or on Google search, or now TikTok videos are also searchable on Google, that they're pulling up your information. So content truly is king. And it is so important that you make this a part of your daily, weekly, and monthly strategy. Now, the other advantage with AI is that you do not have to spend your days every single day producing content. You can batch that content. You can have AI help you with generating the ideas, even the scripts, even the captions, even the hashtags can be generated by AI and then just evaluated by you as the CEO of your business, so that you can push that valuable content out there. And nowadays, you know, back when we started content marketing all the way back in 2003, 2004, it was crazy. Like, you literally had to talk to human beings to figure out what their questions were, what they needed, what they wanted, like lots of surveys, like really digging in and finding out this information. And now we can find out that content just by looking at Google, what questions are people asking, by having ChatGPT give us a list of the top 20 questions people are asking in any niche, by using other AI tools online. You can get this data and find out how you can really optimize your content to get in front of the biggest audiences and really impress them, and move them up from knowing you to liking you to then trusting you and of course buying from you. So that's number 3 is content, and passing it over to you, John, for number 4.
Number 4. And last week we did cover content creation using AI tools.
Yeah,
right?
It was super cool. If you didn't watch that recording, you definitely want to circle back to that, because it is a wow factor when you see just how simple and easy it is to produce massive amounts of content.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And with Brand Builder AI, which is our CRM platform, we're able to push out content consistently, which brings us to the 4th point, which is follow-up. So after first exposure, which may or may not produce a sale, let's say, usually not, right? So first exposure, well, then what happens? Are you consistently in front of people? You see, the more you keep showing up, the more your position as an expert is undeniable. One of our friends, Grant Cardone, I've mentioned to Shannon, wow, this guy's everywhere you go. There he is, right? There he is. And with a lot of content, some of it you may relate to, some of it you may not. But as Grant himself says, best known beats best, right? Well, what's one way of getting known is continuing to be in front of people after that initial exposure. All right. So there was obviously something that got you and your customer or your potential customer together, okay, originally. So based on the context of that already light relationship, you're going to increase that relationship and keep bringing people closer to you. So follow-up can and should be designed to reduce resistance and increase cooperation. So that's a process, not an event, okay? That's a process. And I will tell you that habits beat heroics, right? So it's not just showing up with your cape and mask, one day or something. It's showing up again and again and little bits and bringing people up that mountain, all right? So a lot of times people are focused on, and I'll speak for myself, Shannon, a lot of times I've been focused on, because I'm an author, right? Every time I open my mouth, it's got to be like the most profound stuff anybody's ever heard in the universe. No, most people aren't listening anyway, okay? So quantity over quality, all right? Now, if you're writing a book, yeah, put quality in the book, okay? But if you're doing follow-ups and all this, the consistency is key, okay? It may or may not be profound, okay? But keep showing up and watch what happens. By the way, Shannon's a master of this stuff. And again, using AI, using systems like Brand Builder AI and all this, we have so much content going out, follow-up type, touch points, right? Here's the text, here's the email, here's a little video we shot, right? And all this kind of thing. Weekly newsletter keeps building that credibility and bringing people closer to knowing you, liking you, trusting you, and ultimately buying your stuff, which I think is why you're here in this group. So Shannon, those are the 4 things you got to do to build that and establish that credibility, even if you're new. What's next?
That's right. Now, we would love to hear from you about how you're applying this in your business. Take some time today and do an audit of your accounts. Do an audit of your Facebook account, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, whatever accounts you're using for promotion. Really dig in and put yourself external from your business and say, okay, if I was a potential client, what would I think about this person as a business owner? What would I think about this business? Is this something I would feel is trustworthy enough to pay, right? So do this audit. As a leader, as somebody who is already in 6 and 7 figures, I will tell you that when we have people come into our space, into our business, and we're working with them on their digital assets, what we find is that their assets have been even more neglected. They end up with outdated links, things that are broken, promotions that no longer exist. Their pictures are outdated, right? And there's a lot of broken pieces that really need to be handled. So do that on your social media and really check that everything is cohesive and that your pipelines and your funnels are working correctly. And then make it part of your SOPs, make it part of your standing operating procedures to have that checked every single month so that you never are in the situation where you have outdated images or broken links. Or, just the other day I was on somebody's Facebook page and they had a promo header on the top of their Facebook that was for like 2 months ago. So what that says to me is that their business is stale. It's not growing. It's not, it's not doing anything, because if it was, they would have switched that out right away to the next promo, right? To the next event that's happening. Then if you are eager to have consistent 25K plus months or above, book a strategy call with us. You can go to ceofreedom.com/discovery. And I would love to have a 15-minute chat with you, just dig into your business, find out where you're at, offer you some solutions that can help you get to where you want to be and solve some of the problems that you've been facing and struggling with in your business. And I would love to do that with you. Next week, we will be here again live with you, same time, same place. And our topic next week is creating a 6-month promotion and sales plan for your business. This is so important so that you're not waking up every morning trying to create on your business, but you've actually laid out the future for your business that you're working into, right? It's a big difference. It will reduce a lot of anxiety and stress that you have in your business. It will give you a lot of confidence. And it also gives you a lot of motion and enthusiasm because you're moving towards something that you've already planned out and you know what you're creating on.
It's a huge one.
Any parting words?
Just be here next week. That is huge. In fact, you're seeing a product of that right now. We planned out. In fact, since we're overachievers, we did a year. Let's do a year in advance. Okay, good. But those decisions are already made. So remember, we talked about being consistent. This is how you get consistent. So be here next week for that. And go to ceofreedom.com/discovery so we can have a few minutes together. Thank you, Shannon. Great session today.
Awesome. Have a great day.